Hey guys, Stefan Aarnio here for yet another video. We're doing some serious, authentic stuff right in the office today. I got Coach Bryce, also head of acquisitions. He's my senior managing partner, runs the business. We're doing about a deal a week, about 50-something deals a year. Some wholesales, some flips mostly. And right here in Winnipeg, Manitoba, the murder capital of Canada, baby. So today we're talking about, now people emailing questions, like these are all questions that people have. And so Bryce, we're gonna talk a little bit about the house flipping repair checklist. And so, in some of the other videos we're shooting today, we're showing some of the systems, some of the processes we go through to actually buy these houses. And if you watch one of these videos at home and you're overwhelmed, don't be overwhelmed. Like, you probably need a coach, you probably need some help, you need some education. Like, a lot of people think they can wing this business. Can you just wing it, Bryce?
You can try, it's not sustainable.
Right, and if we have problems, it's because someone was winging it. And maybe you can wing it on one or two little deals by yourself. If we start doing 50, I have a friend who does 450 flips a year. I have another friend who does 50 pure house flips a year. We do flips and wholesales 50. So we're doing less than him. But at the end of the day, doing a lot of business with a team and having all these people, you need some systems. So what do we got here, Bryce? Do you have your deal book with you by any chance?
Yeah.
Yeah, why don't you grab your deal book? Because I want to show people, like people want to know about house flipping repair checklists. So we're here in the boardroom, and what happens is, so Bryce or myself, like I got my deal book. Is mine there? Oh, it's right here. So I got my deal book right here. This is my deal book, and this is the last one I'm using. It's got all my deals I see in it. This is the last one. I'm coming out with my own deal book. Now this is a prototype. We're going to come out with this one called the Black Book. So we call this our Black Book, and this is the Stefan Aarnio proprietary Black Book that's coming out very shortly. So by the time this video is out, who knows, maybe people can order this already.
Yeah, hopefully.
So the Black Book is the core. It's the main thing, and Bryce has his Black Book. I got my Black Book. And when we go on site, we write down, pretty much, how do you do it? Everything you see?
This is pretty much your computer when you don't have a computer. So if you're doing this business, any business, you don't have a book that you're keeping your stuff in, like laptops, they run out of power, all those things. Your Black Book is where your business is done. This is your book of business.
So the main idea here is real estate's a primitive business. And I got a $3,000 MacBook. Is that an Air or is that a Pro? I think it's a Pro, but it says Air on the screensaver for some reason. I guess the computer's called MacBook Air, but it's been transferred to a MacBook Pro. So that's a $3,000 computer. It's high tech. In real estate, you're in the trenches and you need a primitive tool. It's like the military. They use the machine gun, but they also have a knife for when things get primitive. So what I have in my Black Book is I have this pen. This is a very nice pen, and I take my notes when I go in the field. And we have a very systematized way of going through a deal and walking the property and taking down everything it needs. So once you got your Black Book data, Bryce, then it goes to this thing, okay? Tell us about this thing. We got two deals sitting here. This is, what did we wholesale this one?
Yeah.
So this one was a wholesale, and then this one's a flip we're finishing right now, right?
Yeah, it's on market today.
On market today. So this one here, tell me about, what are some of the things that you're going through on the checklist to make sure if this is a deal or not?
So you got to have your main core stuff on this document. It starts with, you want me to hold it up? You've probably already seen it, but I've got my scope. So it starts with the scope. So I'm always keeping, you should be able to put all of your things on a quick one sheet. Like this is minimum due diligence. There's a lot more that goes on here, but this is all the boiled up due diligence. So this is transcribed from my Black Book, from the field into a document where I can mark the weeks that it's being done in. And then at the bottom, it's got totals, subtotals, because you need to be marking your subtotals. Contractors give you with tax totals, so we got to figure out pre-tax totals. And then everything is open, so you could actually pitch a deal with this paper to someone at a Tim Hortons and say you want to do this deal.
Yeah, it's a wholesale or a flip.
Yeah.
For financing.
For financing. And then it's got the main numbers, so what it's going to be worth, what we bought it for, what we're fixing it for, that works out as a ratio, and then important, square footage and the year built. Those are core numbers. And so, yeah, it's all got all the renovation stuff on the side, and then the comp matrix that goes with it. You want me to get into that?
Yeah, so it's okay. So what Bryce went through there is, this is a different deal, but this is, the budget, he walked the property, he got in the trenches. Somebody's got to get in the trenches at some point in real estate. It's a trench warfare business. So you get in the trenches, and we got our budget and everything we're doing, and we got our ratios, we got our cash budget set. So cash and ratios, remember we were talking about that this morning? Got to have your cash and your ratios.
So this is actually...
Is that the same deal?
This is another deal that we did, but you'll see all the same data, all the comp,
Yes,
matrix,
these
all
two
the
things
numbers.
look the same.
It's just you got to make it, print it out.
It's primitive. Because here's the thing, guys, your technology doesn't work. Some people are asking about what apps to use in real estate. I'm going to say, fuck your apps. Fuck your apps. Fuck technology. Guys, when you're in the trenches, there's a reason why the military has bayonets, knives, the most primitive handguns. And, there's also high-tech weaponry like missiles, nukes, lasers, all sorts of fancy high-tech. But this is a low-tech business. When you're in the trenches, I stepped in dog poo downstairs in our office. That's how primitive it is. We bought a house with, an inch of dog poo everywhere on Elmhurst.
Terrible.
So you're in the trenches, it's dirty, it's smelly. That's why you use the black book and a pen. You collect the data, then you start going high-tech on the analysis, okay? So you bring it into this analysis. Now, there's one more analysis that we want when we're buying. And tell me, Bryce, what's this other analysis that we do before we're buying? So this thing's a new piece of technology for us that's mandatory now on our deals, and tell me about it.
So this is what we call a comp matrix. It's probably too small for you to read. I'll just go over it. Well, it's, if the smaller the better, right? So what we got here is we've got all of the properties that we're comparing this thing to in the last 6 months. Then what we're trying to do is, in our coaching program, we talk about an apples to apples comparison, not an apples to oranges thing. So if you get some oranges in here, you gotta throw them out, and you gotta make sure that what you're planning to bring to market matches the best comparable. So pass me that Lipton one here.
Right, and I wanna say this, guys, when you get comps, comparables from your agent, you gotta understand that most agents took a 2-week real estate class or an open books take-home study thing on how to fill out forms. They are not educated. Most realtors know nothing about houses. They don't know anything about construction. They don't know anything about, the market in general. They just can sign forms on behalf of the government. So when you get into comparables with your realtor, most of them just pull up whatever their broker showed them to do, and it's not indicative of a true after repair value. So their CMA, their comparable market analysis that they're given to you, might not transfer over to a proper after repair value.
It's not the same.
So what you need to do, the reason why we made this piece of technology here, is so that we can treat this like an appraiser. If you go into a commercial appraisal report or even a residential appraisal, it has a matrix like this inside. It shows here's the comps and here's the variances we use to determine value. This is like an appraiser. Now, I am not a realtor, I'm not a broker, I'm not a mortgage broker, I'm not an appraiser, but I probably could do all those jobs today because of experience and other courses. So I've got an outside the box education, and I'm pretty much an appraiser. So go ahead, Bryce.
So this system's really important because it is an appraisal, but it's a future appraisal. So you have your deal right here in the position that it is in today, and then you've got the sold, so things that actually sold for the price you're looking for. So what we do is we average out the prices and the square footage, and it all comes down to this bottom line here, and then you're checking this against your deal. So for instance, this one here, all of the basements are fully finished. Full finished or pretty much fully finished, and this one was not. So we had to go a little bit deeper into the pockets here to actually make this basement the same as the other deals, because if we came with an unfinished basement on this deal, we wouldn't be expecting the exit price that we're looking for here. So if we're looking at all the comps all the way across, we got to make sure that our square footage is close, that our year built is close, that it's the same style, that it's the days on market. We want to know how fast it's sold.
So there's a lot of nuts and bolts here, and Bryce, I love him, he's a nuts and bolts guy. But the reality is, guys, watching one little YouTube video or watching this stuff, you can't learn it all from a 10-minute YouTube video. Like it's like heart surgery. You're not going to go be a heart surgeon from watching surgery online. It doesn't work like that. So if you're a serious person who wants to do this for real, we have a system here. This is what it is. Boom, the system. This thing, this is in the system. This is in the system. This is in the system because we centralize all our stuff in this program. Now, Bryce, it's online, right? Mm-hmm. And so all the files, forms, contracts, everything you want is online. We also ship you this hard copy. It's like an encyclopedia flipping houses. I'm not here to sell this to you. You know, I don't care if you buy it or not. It doesn't change my life. But at the end of the day, I'm just being real with you guys. If you want to do this for real, you might have to invest some money in some systems. Every business has to invest some money and some time.
Right?
Well, it's like a franchise. It's like any other business. Like, you know, a business is people and systems. And stuff like this is integral for running your business. And Bryce, we were doing some analysis on deals where we don't do the comp matrix. What's the result? We get beaten up.
That's good.
Yeah, we get beaten up. So if you don't do your comp matrix, you're going to be sloppy. You're gunslinging. But if you do your comp matrix properly, the way we show it to you, those deals hit. You know, they hit and they hit good, and you make good profit. So you got to decide, you know, do you want to be amateur at this, or do you want to be pro? If you want to be pro and you want to do a lot of business, a lot of volume, you got to have the professional systems. So, you know, I'm not here to sell you guys anything. You can decide if you want that kind of thing, you can reach out. But this is a real business, guys. You know, I got these guys shooting in my office today to show the reality. Mm-hmm. And this is real. You know, it's so real I stepped in dog poo in the basement. That's how real it is today. You got anything to add to this?
No, I mean, it's like anything, you know. McDonald's isn't McDonald's because of the people, it's the systems. The deep fryer goes up and down on its own. If you're gonna do deals in a big way, 12 or more, you probably should consider.
Well, and just to give you guys an idea, like, look at all these deals. This is probably like the last 100 deals we've done right here, and I'm analyzing them. And like, this is a lot of deals, and each page is a deal. So with all this stuff, like, look at my desk, it's a mess. It's a mess because we're doing real work. And so, you know, make sure you got your due diligence down, make sure you got your systems, your checklists. That stuff keeps you from getting killed. And I'll leave you with this quote: an ounce of sweat saves a pint of blood. Because if you go in the trenches and you don't have this stuff and you go in there, you might get shot, you might get stabbed. So you got to make sure you got to have your systems in advance. I'm Stefan Aarnio, Respect the Grind with Coach Bryce. We'll see you guys on the next video.